Recently, I received an email from Omar, who follows the Weekly Gain on the Way, and religiously, he asked me a question about opening his own business, specifically a gym. And that email inspired me to create this episode of How to Start Your Own Business. So I'm going to assume that we're past the point of the idea, the concept for your business. The next step is, how do you take your idea about your business and actually get it to be a business? Well, the first thing you really need to do is create a business plan. A business plan, most people think of as just a document for a bank with a lot of numbers in it and data and statistics. Although that is true, the business plan is your story. That's where you start. As you start to put it down on paper and write it out in a sequential format of how the business will operate, how it will make money, how it will become profitable, and how it will have some longevity, you will start to realize that you have to have some depth to this plan. You're telling the story of your business when you write a business plan. Some of the things that are going to be included in this business plan, besides your great story, are going to be specific data points. The financial component. For instance, what are the startup costs? What is the ongoing debt service? In other words, what does it cost to run this business every single day, month after month, year after year? You'll also have to include what the revenue stream looks like. When you show cash flow in and cash flow out, you'll be able to demonstrate what the net profitability of this business will be over time. A lot of people nowadays, they use things like Excel, spreadsheets to lay all this out. They create a pro forma of sorts. The banks love to see that, where it shows week by week or month by month what the business will do. And this gives everyone a good snapshot, including yourself, of how your business is going to perform over time. That's one thing I want you to remember. The business plan is not just for someone else. That business plan is also for you. It's for you to reflect upon, to adjust along the way. This is also a tool that you should be consistently using through the lifetime of your business, not just in the beginning. I think that's one where most people get this wrong. They write a business plan once and they never look back at it. Remember, you need to continually look at that business plan, reflect upon it, add to it another chapter, a new product, a new service. This should all be included in a new business plan, even if you're not looking to raise capital or go to the bank and get a loan. Some folks that are watching this, a good starting point might be you have to hire a consultant, or you need to talk to someone that's been there or done that. Building a business plan alone can be an arduous task if you've never done it before. Hiring someone or aligning yourself with someone that has been there and done that could save you a ton of time, as well as you only get one shot at bat when you're going to get money from a bank. The answer no comes out quite often if that business plan doesn't look perfect. After your business plan is completed and you're really confident that you've got a great final product that reflects exactly what your business does and how it's going to make money, now's the time you got to figure out where you're going to take this business plan. What type of funding are you looking for? First and foremost is family. A lot of people go to family and friends first. They call it family and friends funding, FFF. In my first business, that's one of the ways I did fund it. I went to my family first. I had my father and my uncles, and I pitched them my business plan. If you want to hear more about that story, check out Weekly Gain episode 14. I elaborate on the whole story of how I raised money from my family. Another very popular and common way that a lot of small business owners go to start up their business is they use institutional lending. You go to your bank. There's all types of commercial loans, startup loans. SBA is a government-backed loan. You can Google that and find out a whole bunch more information. These type loans, you really have to have your stuff buttoned up. You better have the experience in the business or some form of experience in that kind of business if you're looking to get a bank to give you money. You also better have a really tight buttoned up business plan with great financial data, because people that are reviewing those business plans are taking your word for what you're putting on that paper. If you have no credibility because you've never done this before, you are going to have a much bigger challenge in selling a new business to an institution to get their money. Hopefully you're going into a business where you have some experience. Maybe you've worked in that field before. You have years and years of working for another company that was very successful, and you've got some accolades working for that company, being successful yourself. These are things that are going to help you help yourself get a business loan for that new small business you're trying to start. The next important step is building out your team for your business. Now, quite frankly, the team might just be you, and that's all you can afford. But there's a lot of businesses that need to start out with more than one person, especially if you're getting into retail or the service industry. You're going to need someone to do the things that you're just not great at. When I tell everyone about building my own team, I always build teams to my weaknesses. There's certain qualities I have that I'm really, really good at, and there's certain that I'm not so good at. Identify the qualities you're great at, and the ones you're not so great at, make sure you delegate those tasks to other people. Now, other people cost money. It's going to be hard to get people to volunteer to support your business. Although it's possible, it's going to be hard to get the right quality people without compensating them. In fact, this team building process may have to be part of your business plan. You may have to showcase the rock star salesperson or the great bookkeeper or CFO in your business plan. That would mean you have to have these people in place before the business even opens, which means you're going to have some money for your business before you even go out to try to acquire more money to be lent to you. When you start a business, it's very hard to have zero capital. You have to come to the table with something. Hopefully you've saved some money along the way, your other job, you've been putting away a good portion of your dream. Take that dream money and then invest it in yourself, and then expect a bank or another lender to invest into the business. You have to understand that dynamic. You're going to have to invest in that business before anyone else will. Sweat equity and real dollars. One of the most important things you're going to need to do once you've opened your small business is you're going to start tracking its performance. Remember earlier when I talked about using your business plan as an ongoing tool to reflect back on it, to add to it? This is where that comes into play. You're going to need to take the important data points of your business, how the money comes in, how the money goes out, and you're going to need to track that every single day, every single week, and then every single month. Don't just look at it and say, I'm going to check this out 12 months later when it's time to file the taxes. The health and the viability of your business needs to be looked at all the time, because it can change so quickly. And if you're not checking all the time, those little incremental slides can be very, very dangerous to the life expectancy of your business. So let me give you an example of some of those things. One might be your sales versus cost of acquisition for that sale. That's an interesting data point in almost all businesses. I sold my widget for $10, but it costed me $4 to get the customer to buy my widget. That's a good point that you want to check out, because you might be able to reduce that cost down the road. How do you reduce that cost? You'll put yourself on a new initiative in the business. You also want to look at the cost of goods if you're in a retail type business. How do you drive down your cost of goods? If you sell a product for X and your cost of goods for that product is Y, the incremental difference is your profit. Well, if you can take the Y down lower because you've sourced it to someone else, maybe you scaled the business and you're able to buy more, buy in bulk, and you're able to get things at a better price and pass that savings along to your customer while also improving the margin on your business. These are points that you need to be checking on all the time. You cannot do this on an annualized basis. This has to be done much more often. Make sure you have a good reporting template to track these things. I mean, Excel spreadsheets is the easiest one. There's a lot of platforms that are out there that you could buy online that you could do this and you could just load all your stuff in. I mean, there's QuickBooks, there's other accounting softwares, there's all kinds of ways for you to make sure you're getting the proper snapshot of your business. I know at Retro Fitness, this is something we're big sticklers on. When we talk to our franchisees, we make sure they have the data in the right places. And we teach our owners, you need to have some kind of mechanism for accounting that shows you printouts quickly and easily of what your business's health looks like. You can then take those P&Ls or balance sheets and sit down with someone that's more educated than you are and make some really good decisions. The only way to help the business is to help yourself get smarter at learning these types of tricks. And be sure to recognize patterns in your business, patterns of success and patterns of failure. These are the blueprints to help you make the changes you'll need to make going forward. The one thing I can tell you about all businesses is it's never constant. Nothing stays the same. There's always change, good change and bad change. You have to be able to identify each and act accordingly. Never be discouraged by a slow start. Lots of businesses have a slow ramp. That doesn't mean that you're failing. It just means you need to continue exuding your passion. Now, at some point, you'll realize if this business is working or not, and then you got to be smart enough to turn it off if it's not. But don't turn it off before it's time. I've seen a lot of small business owners that just close the doors way before they've ever given it the opportunity to really see if it could have been resuscitated or if it didn't hatch yet. It might have still been cooking in the oven and you just took it out too soon. You need to be able to understand patience in business, and that means you're going to have to push through some very emotional times that you may have never felt before because you've never owned your own business. Be prepared. Know that you're going to have headwinds. Understand that that is natural. It's normal. You're not going to wake up every day and feel great about your business because something bad may have happened the night before. But wake up every day and be enthusiastic toward fixing it if in fact there is a problem. Here's one last tip to grow on. Be wary of the naysayers. When you start your own business, You will be shocked how many people come out of the woodwork that are trying to drag you down and backwards. They don't want you to change. They don't want you to leave them. They don't want you to leave the comfort zone of where they are with you in that lifespan. Don't do it. You're not ready. You don't have the experience. You don't have enough money. What do you know about this? Have you ever had your own business? You're going to hear it all. So just keep replaying that last line that I just said to you, because that's what you're going to hear. And once you become immune to it and you just block it out, you will be able to focus more on what you want for your life and your business's destiny. Promise me this one thing if you're watching this video. You'll never let anyone else determine your future. Folks, keep the questions in the comments coming. It's how I make these videos. I appreciate the information you guys give me, and I hope I can provide some solutions for you. Don't forget to leave your comments below or use the hashtag #TheWeighIn and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I really appreciate you guys watching.